Hey, future Zane here. If you enjoy what Jennifer has to say and would like to know more about her, you can check her out in the description. And if you have similar experiences and you'd like to share, maybe people could benefit from it, hit me up on Instagram. Anyways, enjoy.
Hey, great to meet you.
Great to
Thank you
meet you
so much for
too.
the invite.
Thank you so much for joining because this is my first ever podcast. So I
Really?
just, I was
Oh,
really excited. Yeah.
so
All
this
right.
is my
So,
actually doing one too. So I've had a couple people ask me, and I just wasn't really ready to do it yet. I felt like because I've been trying to
mhm.
like do so much establishing, but I was like, okay, I'm taking it and let's do it. So I'm
All
looking
right.
forward to
Let's make this great.
it. All right.
So first, I'm Zane. I'm 17. I live in the UAE.
Okay.
I'm just doing this because I want to destigmatize failure
Mhm.
and encourage it, actually.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is take more action, encourage taking more action. So if you take more action, obviously you'll fail more.
Right.
Um, and so if you fail more, you get confident in failing and you sort of your fear of it goes away. So whatever ideas you have, you put them into action much quicker
Right.
and you just become more efficient entrepreneur in general. So that's just the gist of it. Anyways, let's get to you. All right,
Okay.
Jennifer.
Perfect.
Could you just give me a quick backstory? Why did you start your business? The essence behind it, your vision,
Okay.
any order. It doesn't have to be specific.
Okay, perfect, great. Well, yeah, and thank you so much. And I actually love what you said because it really is something that I preach in my business now. Because it's exactly how I landed in what I wanted to do and discovered my passion.
Mm-hmm.
So, to give you a little background, of course, my name is Jennifer. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. So, I am 31 and I have been in
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship. I say full, like really, really working hard on it the last year. Everything with 2020 and COVID has really pushed me forward.
All
But
right.
I've wanted to do something in entrepreneurship since 2016. So that was the year that I attempted my first business, which was in hair extensions. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything about starting a business, just kind of knew that this was an avenue that was about to take off. So I spent tons of money in marketing and branding and I thought I had to have the perfect photos, the models, and all of that. And doing the market research, only to discover once I started my business that I didn't know how to reach my target audience and that I didn't even like really selling hair extensions. So that really kind of led me into understanding that I love the research portion and that
Mm-hmm.
I loved helping people to start their websites and to do like that groundwork before you get to actually selling and reaching out to the public. So, really, I say a year ago, I founded my business, which is called Business Gone Live. And that's exactly what the mission is it's to help aspiring entrepreneurs start profitable businesses. And so, with that, I help them by creating courses that walk you through each step to get to starting your business, as well as I provide individual consulting. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the basics of exactly what you said. So, I mean, I love your platform.
All right. So the base the point of this interview was to dig into a failure. I know
Mhm.
that might be hard. It might touch a nerve, but let's look at one of your significant failures, which you think
Okay.
have changed your life, has been a stepping stone to where you're at right now.
Right. So definitely starting the hair extension business. So the first thing I did was I sat on the idea for years. And so it
Mm-hmm.
was something that I caught and I was passionate about early on, but I was so afraid to even try that first time that I just, kind of sat there and let time linger, saw other people's businesses take off. The next thing I did was I began to pull loans and pull money
Mm-hmm.
and invest a lot of money into things that weren't important in my business. So I would buy merchandise and use it myself, which was like no marketing cost. I had nothing to sell. I would pay models and for photos, and I didn't really have a clear brand. And so I would actually have to go back and like redo photos and constantly do things over and over as far as design and marketing. And so I would say that that was my biggest failure, because with the loans that I took out, it ultimately financially ruined my credit.
All
And
right.
it's some of the things that I'm still working on now. So just kind of looking back on that, I would say, I think that my main focus should have been on how to reach my customer versus how everything looked and how pretty it was. And I made the brand so much about me that I never really looked at, what does the market want? What's going to attract the person? Who am I even trying to reach out to? Because I started off only promoting my items to my Facebook following and my Instagram following, which was very small at the time, and
Mm.
actually was actually mostly made up of men. So no, it was like not beneficial at all.
All right, all right. So if you could give yourself a short speech, like your self, about how many years ago?
So I guess that's 4 years ago.
All
Yeah.
right, yourself 4 years ago. What would you say? Like a short speech.
I would say definitely be quicker to jump in and make mistakes so that you can learn.
Mm-hmm.
So I think had I, taken a chance and tried this, maybe 2 years before, I could have known, okay, this isn't what I want to do. And it would have helped me to discover that I love doing the other portion that I do now. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely say, for anybody, and definitely I wish I could have told myself, was to try things and to always keep in mind that when you're starting a business, your ultimate goal is to find a solution to a problem. It's not about
Mm-hmm.
you. It's not about what you like. It's about there's a problem there, and how do I fix it with my business?
All right, that sounds fantastic, honestly, and I connect to what you say because if I started this back when I was 15, I used to have all these ideas, but I never got into any of it. So I kind of connect with that. So what do you think you're gonna do what are your plans for the future to leverage failure and test what doesn't work so you know what does work?
Okay. Yeah. So I am still learning as I go, but
Mhm.
a very big advocate of trying things so that I can discover what I want to do and what works well. So I think in the future, that's going to kind of be my goal. I'm very vocal with sharing my failures also, which I think is a big thing that's really therapeutic for me, because at one point I was embarrassed of my failures and embarrassed of the fact that I didn't do well in business. And so I wondered how much people would actually respect me as a business owner, saying, well,
Mhm.
I failed at this, but I think the more that you are open and you kind of share those experiences, people respect you more. So that's what my brand is really built off. Is telling people, like, no matter how bad it is, like, hey, yeah, like I lost $1,000 doing this, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes. So going forward, I mean, that's pretty much the basis of my business, is to share as much about my failures as possible so that I can prevent others from making the same mistakes.
That sounds really great because if people are embarrassed of their failure, they tend to push it to the side, not learn from it. And
Yeah.
so even if you might have lost $1,000, you might have just blamed it on luck or something apart
Right.
from, you know. And now that you're realizing it, so I didn't expect it to be this short.
Okay.
Anyways, would you like to say anything before we end the podcast? I guess.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, let's see. Overall, I guess I could just kind of offer some encouraging words,
Hmm.
to anybody who's looking to go into business. I am a little different into that. You'll see messages that say things like, you're either built for entrepreneurship or you aren't. I feel like everyone is at least built to make additional money. So maybe you don't want that full business and you don't want the stresses of having to, fully go through all of the legal aspects and things like that, which I'm learning and kind of going through now with this being my first business, that I'm actually going through each step. But I think that everyone has the ability and they have skills within them now that they already know that they can make money doing. So one of the things that I've recently started talking about on my brand is how you can do something as simple as use a website to create Instagram pages for people, because there
Hmm.
are always people that are older or people who just don't understand social media, and you can help them make money by doing anything they need in their business. So I think it's really important that you follow your dreams, and create that lifestyle that you want. And it may not be a situation where you build a business and you're physically shipping something from the ground up, but there's so many opportunities out there for anyone who's interested in pretty much changing their entire lives. So
Just before we end it,
yeah.
is there any are there any socials people can find you on? Like,
Oh
what
yeah.
would
So
you market?
definitely. Yeah. So my official website is businessgonelive.com. Your listeners can follow me on Instagram, which is where I'm the most active, at
Mhm.
Jen Danielle _. And that's Jen with two N's. As far as Facebook, I'm also on there as well under Business Gone Live.